Good morning. Welcome to Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. We're going to look at the word of the day. We're going to look at CPI, PPI, and we're going to look at what's moving today and then what we're trading. We added a little bit. So let's go to our screens. First, we're going to go to our word of the day is raillery. We hope we have a better day than yesterday because Comcast kind of knocked us out yesterday. Raillery is good-humored teasing. When Jamal and only one who fell for the prank, the team directed a bit of raillery his way for the rest of practice. So that's the word of the day. Our word of the day yesterday was gruntled. So that's our word of the day, raillery, for today. Let's move on. Let's take a look at our S&P heat map so far today. Let's refresh this, make sure we're looking at the right thing. Microsoft up 1.33%. Most of tech is up. Financials, JP Morgan's down a little bit, and American Express, Google and Meta are up. Amazon, surprisingly, is down today. Tesla was up 3% today. It's off 1.38 today. I think Home Depot is up on their earnings. Main pharmaceuticals are mainly up. Biotech, utilities continues to shine, and that's the story there. So if you're worried about the market for a hard landing, well, we recommend that, if you've worked your entire life building up your savings, you have a pretty good savings, and you don't want it to turn into 2008, where everything pulled back. It looks like they closed out. For some reason, everything on my computer died overnight. Pulling it back up. So now we can view it. Let's go back to share our screen. So yes, this is annuity. It beats index investing by about 5% per year. Now they're offering 30 to 45% bonuses on any new money coming in. And as you can see, it goes up the step, goes up the step. It does not lose money when the market goes down. So this is the story. So if you want to learn more about that, feel free to get in touch with me. Let us go to the screen. We do not have news this morning, so we're going to look at some top 5 companies and sectors for the month of May. So our dollar is falling drastically. So what happens when the dollar falls drastically? Let's see if we have our Bitcoin. Pull that up. Share the screen. Well, Bitcoin rallies. Look at that. Was it 61,000 last night? I thought I added a MicroStrategy last night, and it is just zooming up. It's getting pretty close to 65,000. I added some Bitto in my Roth IRA today as well. So that's story there. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is rallying a little bit as well, not quite as much, but that is a story there. Let's go back to our screens. Sure, silver is rallying as well, silver and gold. So let's go take a look there. Look at that. That looks like a breakout right there. Yes, me. Yes, sirree. And you could have gone with this type of deal as well. It broke out there. So that's silver, gold. It's getting pretty close to a breakout. That's a pretty nice move, up 1.29%. Look at one of our favorite mining companies. It's pretty flat for the day. Tech is slight pullback. Southern Copper, about the same. Let's look at our copper index. It's actually moving up. It's odd that all of these would be pulling back. Vale pulled back to the 50-day and is bouncing. Rio is bouncing off of the 10-day. BHP is up as well. PBR in the oil just keeps crashing. Why is that? Well, now the socialist government has replaced the CEO with a socialist in there, and people don't think that this is going to be well for the business. So that's the story. PBR. So let's look at the bond yields. Bond yields, big gap down, fell to its 200-day moving average. That was down to 4.34 from 4.5. And same thing on the 20-year. So yesterday, the PPI came in at 0.5 when people are expecting 0.3. And let me just see if I can find the CPI, but it came in much softer than people were anticipating. People were actually anticipating because the PPI was up. The CPI would be up as well. See what it says right here. It increased 0.3% after rising 0.4% in March. So I'm not sure what people were expecting. But I think it's probably right in target, maybe a relief. So that is the story there. Let's move on to the VIX. I would think the VIX would be falling. And sure enough, the VIX has filled the gap that it had a couple of days ago, being an oscillating index 99.95% of the time. This fills. So we do have another gap way up here. So eventually that is going to fill, but just have to take the good things for what we got today. S&P 500 is breaking out. We got a gap up here, breaking out. RSP got a gap up as well in the RSP, up 0.73%. Working on this little cup formation. We'll see if it can break out. This is the equal weight once you get away from the big cap tech. The NASDAQ is breaking out as well, up 1.29%. Take a look at our equal weight, gapping up as well, up a little over 1%. IWM, I'm sure, would be rising with that pullback in the bond yields. Dow, which had been leading, as a gap up as well. So all the major indexes have a gap up. Let's take a look at our morning report. What's up to 10% on 200% increase in volume. We got 3 issues. We got Pliant Therapeutics. It's up 16% on 513% increase in volume. 2 days in a row. Monday, look at that, up nearly 18%. Earnings came in at 336% increase. Yeah, that'll get people interested, that's for sure. And Next Tracker in the solar area is up a little over 10%, 153% earnings increase, 96 cents compared to 38 cents. So that's what's happening there. Let's take a look at where the sectors are in our P&F models. Where did I put that? Here we go. Back on board. Get this to a size we can see. So in the NASDAQ 100 top 5 stocks, first one is CEG in the oil and gas area. Relatively recent IPO. We got a gap up here, up 2.5%. Earnings had increased 133%. No surprise. Second one is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is moving up pretty strong today, up 3%. Earnings in 7 days. Relative strength at 98. DoorDash is number 3. It had really kind of fallen down. I'm not sure how this made the list, but Micron Utilities. Technology moving up. Earnings in 42 days. KLA 10 core. Looks like they're breaking out. They broke out just barely yesterday, and they're moving up pretty strong today. So let's go to the Russell. Installed building products is number 1. Tried to move up and then sold off today. Tenant healthcare is number 2. We've got institutional ant buying right over here. And right on schedule, it pulled back a little bit, not as much as most of these have, but it's moving on up today. BMI, Badger Meter, Machinery Industrial, look at that move. You can see why that's on the list. Hibbard, pretty flat. They got a cash offer to buy the business, so we'd stay away from that one. And Texas Roadhouse, it's up 0.33%. So let's take a look at the AI top stocks. We already looked at NVIDIA. And VSnet provides web-based products and solutions. It's moving up. Its earnings came in at 30% above previous quarter a year ago. B2, Canton Limited. I'm not sure why that didn't come up. Have to type it in. It is not recognized. But we'll move on to the next one. Qualcomm. We had this over here. We bought this, but we decided to take our profit and move into something else. I think we probably should have stayed. Didn't think it would move this much, but we got in at 177. I think we sold it at 182. Snap. Got a big cup with a handle here. Pulling back, up 1.47%. And then finally onto the magic formula. We're just going to look at 3 out of the 6 groups today. We may take a look at S&P 500. So we'll look at one more group. Collegium Pharmaceuticals. I'm not sure how that made the list with its pretty big drop here. Up 2.85% today. Crocs tried to break out, is pulling back a little bit. Competitors had a pretty good day yesterday and it's pulling back a little bit as well. Gulfport Energy, it's number 3, up 2.81%. Build-A-Bear Workshop is up 0.03% today. Looks like a big cup with handled out, tried to break out and pulled back below the 20-day and now is bouncing. Finally, Mueller Industries. So the top 5 in the S&P 500. CrowdStrike. We've been talking about this for a while. We put in the option at 320. We took off 5 of those options and we bought back the short on the other to buy the stock at 320 when it's in 340. I think that's a good place to be. BRT. We had this previously, sold it around here somewhere. And it just keeps moving on up. NVIDIA is number 3. Dell Computer is number 4. Look at this. Got a nice report that if you want to build out of AI, Dell Computer is probably a good place to go. You can put a box around here. Darvis box. This is definitely a breakout. And the 5th one is Constellation Energy, which we looked at before. So we'll look at the top one in the yield. Not sure if yield and momentum, but top one is Wells Fargo. Keeps rising. Initially, we bought it on this big move over here. And on this little bit of a pullback right over here, we decided to take a partial profit. So that is the story there. And you can take a look at what we're doing. So with Bitcoin moving up yesterday, we saw this little tight action here in MicroStrategy. And this tight action is very similar to what happened over here. So we decided to toe in, and we put about 40 shares in yesterday. Then we bought another 60 at 13.90 today, and it just continues moving on up. We may add some more. Our goal is to get to 140, 150. So that's kind of the story of MicroStrategy. We looked at NVIDIA already. Take a look at Toast. Toast continues moving up. Originally, we bought this right over here, option. Let that option convert, pull back a little bit, and it has just been continued going. I think this could possibly turn into Square did. I'm not sure if we can go back to, maybe we can go back on a monthly. Put this at 2009. Change it to a weekly. Back to that date. Put it on the daily and maybe it'll This should be able to go back to 2009. You have to do it this way. Two 2019. That's not going to work properly. Oh, we'll just go to the monthly. Go down here. Yeah, I guess score didn't come out in 2019, so that could have been the problem. Go see if it'll work on 2015. Here we go. So it came public around $12 a share. Where did we buy? We bought it at 25. So right around there, move it to the weekly. So on this cup with a handle, this is where we bought. Let's just move this along. And where did this go to? $44. And we break out again. Another cup with a handle. So we work on another cup with a handle again. So started out, I believe, yeah, right here is the first one, second one, third one. And we just keep driving higher. Let's move this ahead to 2019. So it came up here to 100. Pull back to 60. Pull back, we got a cup. Tried to break out, pulls back again. And then we got another cup of the handle. Handles out, and it just falls apart, comes back. I think this has had some stock splits because I recall going from 25 to 250. So, and we sold around 250, but let's just keep watching. This is a pretty long base here. Goes up to 140. Got a little bit of a pullback. Pulls back to the 50-day. Breaks out again. Pulls back, dives through the 10-day, and then takes off again. So if this is correct, this is probably where we sold it right here from 25 to 250. So is there any chance that Toast could do the same thing? Toast came public right around $40. Move up to today. And here's Toast. Take a look at the monthly. Came public way over here. And now it's not quite a double bottom, but a nice round base here. And it's breaking out of this area. And so this is why we like it. And it's being used in numerous restaurants, most restaurants that we go to, and now even into the food truck area. So that's why we like Toast. 4. Look at this move on 4. So we bought it at 62.50, the option, and it just keeps springing forward. We have a short at 75, so we'll just see how that goes. 62.50 to 75, and the rest is 70 to 75. So we're in the money in all of those options. Other, let's see, just take a look at Celsius. A couple of days ago, we got into Celsius. Continues moving up here. I think eventually it may do a handle. And then do something like that. May go up to this line and pull back. So that's what we're kind of looking for. We continue to hold ELF Beauty. We'll see if this is going to be a bottoming base here or not. We originally bought this at 122 and didn't sell enough of it, and we held it. And so this is where we are with ELF Beauty. Get to right the count I wanted to look at. Here we go. Kava. Continue to hold. We'll see if it can break out. Earnings are in 13 days. Earnings are supposed to be up 143%. Been kind of little rocky moving up here. We bought this originally at 31, moved up here to 46. We took some profit and then got back in at 49. So we've been just riding that all along there. Just continue. This one we doing a little bit of a swing trade. RTX had done the options from 95 to 100. Then at 100 got into the stock, opened it, go to 105. It's done that, and then we sold some 105 options, which expire next Friday. So we hope it'll stay around 105. Another one that we've done for a little bit of a swing trade is Frontline oil tanker. Yeah, it's moving up close to 0.8% today. NetApp. Really like this. It's breaking out now. Bought this about right over here. So NetApp is it's up about 1% since we bought it. Celsius, we just looked at Toast EC, another short-term trade that we put on. Just kind of holding this. We thought that this would pull back here and build a handle. So we'll see if this can break higher. It is up 1% today. Rose. We'd like to keep this for a long-term hold. We bought this earlier. We bought it at 31.38. Rose is up a little over 20%. Bought it right in here. It moved up to here, gapped up. We got another gap up today, up another close to 5%. Every Dutch Brothers coffee location we go to, we see a long line of cars, and it doesn't matter if it's in the morning, the afternoon, or what. So we really like that kind of action. We looked at Crowd earlier, APO. Got a little bit of a bounce. We work with their product, so we decided we just want to kind of hold this. So we bought it at 112. It's up to 114 today. We'll see if it can break out. The breakout area would be 117.25. We looked at 4. We looked at NVIDIA. We looked at ELF. MicroStrategy we looked at as well. AV. Drone maker. Bought this right. See the price we bought it at. We bought it at 180.19. Felt like this would move up here. We thought it might develop a handle. It still could. It's pulling back slightly today at 0.51%. Also in the oil area, ERMD, one of our other accounts. Got into this. It's down 0.31%, but it did break out big time over here. We brought it right about this area, 36. Another oil company, Weatherford. Originally bought it over here at 65, right before the breakout, and it's had a nice move. Several times that we've sold covered calls on this, so we've kind of added to our gains there. Right now we have a $125 covered call that expires next week on one of the holdings, and the other one I think is in June or July. So that is the story there on Weatherford. Let me see if there's anything else I want to take a look at. Oh, yes, we have in the airline FTAI. Got a little gap up. Bought this right over here. And then the other one that we bought at the same time, we weren't really sure which one move up. So we went in a little bit of both. FTAI gapped up. Bought it right over here. And it just continues moving on up. So that's what we're working in right now. This has been Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. I'm glad the internet didn't give us such a hiccup as it did yesterday, but hope everybody has a great day, and we'll catch up with you next week. We're working on a couple of new projects, and we look forward to seeing you. Have a great day.